track review.
Hello, my needle drops. How you doing? That's good to hear. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it is Track Reviews, where we talk about the latest in rock, pop, electronic, and experimental music of the independent persuasion. And I have a few things that I want to get into before we actually get into the track review. First off, there's a gigantic mega mix over at theneedledrop.com called Creative Controlled from a mashup artist by the name of Al Lover. Link in the D box, it's pretty badass. A message to my Connecticut needle drops. If you're from Connecticut, tomorrow I'm doing an event. A couple bands are going to play. I'm going to be there. It's free. Come on down. Link, info, D box. And album of the week, The Unicorns. Who will cut our hair when we're gone? Got a couple comments yesterday, one of them being this one, saying that Brian Eno came out with a new track, and I must listen to it. And even though a lot of people say, you must listen to this, you must listen to this, this is one of the moments where I fully and wholeheartedly agreed. Now, a lot of you may be asking, Anthony, isn't Brian Eno the famed producer who helped guide the artistic visions for such bands as U2, Talking Heads, Devo, and Coldplay? I would say yes. And didn't Brian Eno influence a lot of today's electronic music, as well as pioneering much of ambient music? Yes. And hasn't Brian Eno produced fantastic collaborations with such artists as David Byrne, Robert Fripp, and Cluster? Yes! Brian is gearing up to release a new solo LP on Warp Records. Yeah. And the title of it, and picture, Small Craft on a Milk Sea. It's due out November 2nd, but one track is out now. You can listen to it in the D box. It's called Two Forms of Anger. Wow. This isn't really a disappointed face. This is more of a confused face, guys. I don't know what to think. I guess I'll start with the good, because I only really have one complaint about this thing. What I absolutely love about this track, well, geez, the start. The thing is, it sounds like a spaceship or a shuttle, just something gearing up for launch, or maybe just the introduction music to an action movie or something like that. I just love the sounds in this thing. All sorts of flutters, all sorts of swirls, distortion in there. Maybe the only thing that I thought was questionable in there, or maybe felt a little out of place, was the guitar, which was really dry, no effects on it whatsoever. It was just like really hot, maybe pretty compressed. Well, anyway, so you have all these electronics, all these textures bubbling up, just bubbling up, boiling, reaching the boiling point, and then building slowly underneath that, just fading in. You have these drums that, to sort of be, I guess, the antithesis to all the electronics, all the sequenced sounds that are going on in the foreground, these drums are building up in the background that sound very much like something out of the jungle, just something very tribal, very primal, very like a gorilla about to smash something. It was a really great fusion between electronics and rock music, and a lot of people are doing stuff like that today, but it seemed like Brian Eno was kind of taking a krautrock angle from it, which doesn't surprise me considering how involved with krautrock he's been over the course of his career. I gotta say though, I have a major complaint with this thing that kind of ruins it for me. It's criminally short. It is criminally short. My gosh, I feel teased. I feel like the song brought me right to the point of climax just before it and then just took it away. Do I want to come back to this song by itself and listen to it over and over and over? Not really. However, I am dying, absolutely dying to know how this thing works within the context of the rest of this. I really am feeling a strong 7 on this. The production is amazing, but it teased me that much to the point of where, now I just feel let down a little bit. Again, this new Brian Eno LP is going to come out November 2nd on Warp Records, and what do you guys think of this track? Again, link in the D box where you can hear it. What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? And why? Anthony Fantano, track reviews, Brian Eno, Two Forms of Anger, forever.